All right, so today we are talking about bending. Bending is a crucial part of playing, especially when you're playing solos. We're going to be working in the pentatonic A scale here. The first one is really simple. I want you to start off on the 3rd string, 7th fret, and then we're going to be bending up, and then we're going to resolve to the 5th fret, and then do the same exact pattern going all the way down to the low E. Now you want to keep in mind when you're bending, for example, this is going to be a D note here. What you're typically going to do is you're going to bend up a half step. Sometimes you'll bend up a whole step. It depends on where you're at on the fretboard, depends on a lot of different aspects. Some people bend up a step and a half. I mean, it really depends on what you're kind of going for. But just as a kind of an example, again, this is the D. On the 7th fret here on the 3rd string, what we're really going to do is we're going to bend this to a D sharp, which is this note, on the 8th fret, but we're not going to move our finger, so we're just going to bend up to achieve that note. So as you can see, here's the regular note, bend up, that's your note there. So we are going to use the tablature provided here. The reason you can tell this is my exercise is how bad the handwriting is. All right, so let's start here on the 7th fret. We're going to go to the low E, and we're going to start with a bend. All right? That's basically that exercise. You can do that all over the neck in different pentatonic shapes. You can do it down here. Just kind of as an example of leading with a bend. On this exercise, we are going to bend the 2nd note all the way across, starting on the 5th fret. Just as a note, when you're playing on the high E and you're bending it, you're going to have to bend up towards the neck because obviously there's no real estate here for you to bend down. People have a lot of different ways of using vibrato and bending. That's really going to be kind of up to you and your style and how you want to develop it. Some people only do bend up. Some people bend down, and then they get in a situation like this. They've got to bend up. It really depends on your playing style, what you prefer. Maybe watch some of your favorite players, see how they do it, and adapt to that. The next exercise is that same one we just did. It's just going to be in reverse. So we're going to bend. We're going to lead with a bend at the 8th fret, and then we're going to resolve to the 5th, 8-5, 7-5, 7-5, the typical pentatonic scale. So it's going to be something kind of like this. Again, you're going to bend up on this one as there's nowhere to bend down as you move to the low E. So something like... Also, keep in mind, it's very important, you can use all of your fingers to execute these bends. You don't just have to rely on your pinky in this case to try to bend it. It's a lot easier if you're using the pressure of all of your fingers to give you that dynamic range. So instead of being like, put all of your fingers there and use them all together. Believe it or not, a lot of players, when they're first learning and they're just kind of looking at tab or online, they're not using all their fingers because a lot of people don't tell them to. They just are trying to emphasize the notes to bend and not so much like what you're really doing with your fingers, but use as many of your fingers as you can to really get that pressure in there, and you're going to get a lot better intonation doing that also. This next exercise, what we're doing is we're bending the 3rd note in these 3 note sequences. It's going to be something like this, and then we're going to do the exact same thing as a reverse. Now let's reverse it. So we're going to lead with the bend, and then the other 2 notes are going to be straight static notes. Something like this. that's basically kind of it for this lesson. Again, it's very basic type of bending stuff, but you can play it all over the neck. It's really good exercise, especially using all of your fingers to get those bends in. This way, when you are attacking the pentatonic scale, say you're soloing over A, you're not just going to be playing straight notes like. You can actually add a heck of a lot more flavor. It's just one of the ways. There's multiple ways, and we'll go over those as well to spice those things up. But it sounds a lot better if you're bending. As opposed to playing like a robot. That's it for now. I hope you guys like this one. Any questions, comments are always welcome. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.